Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It's Monday night and tonight we are talking another 5 reasons I think we should be prepping in the UK. So I have my list. Make yourself comfortable and we will see just what's changed, what hasn't, etc, etc. So first of all, thank you to everyone who has sent me best wishes and well wishes, etc. As you can see, I am upright again. I was at work today. Thankfully, I work in an office because if I'd had to move very much, I don't think I would have survived. But yeah, it seems, touch wood, I seem to have been quite lucky with getting quite a mild hit of COVID. While I was at work, I was like, do you know what's been happening? What am I doing? Blah, blah, blah. Obviously, I'm in no fit state to be coming in and cooking tonight. That just wasn't happening. There was a whole lot of, oh, what do I have sitting about that can cook in 2 minutes flat? So I had a stir fry. So just what I wanted to do was just recap the original video, which I will try and put a card thing up here somewhere. Or it might be on this side. I don't know how this works yet. I'll put a card thing up anyway. The original 5 reasons that started me on this journey was when I heard about the truckers and veggie picker shortages, the energy costs going up, the farm problems, inflation and the lack of government help. None of that seems to have changed any time recently. Correct me if I'm wrong, feel free. Now, the first thing is, obviously I put the video out yesterday about the global food shortage. This is not just going to be a small shortage, this is going to be a global shortage. Sorry, I'm trying to think why my eyes are weird, but I actually have the correct specs on. So, as I said in the video yesterday, the UN's warning of a global food shortage, but basically unless something quite dramatic happens regarding Russia and Ukraine, regarding the supply chain problems, etc., there's going to be a problem and it's not going to be a small one. So the global food shortage is my next on my list. So like number 6 is the global food shortage. Number 7 and number 8, they're sort of interchangeable and I'm not quite sure which one's which and how it works. It's like a chicken and egg scenario. Just now I know that there's industrial action being done for wage rises because there's so many people who are on wages that are just not sustainable now. They're not going to be able to keep their homes, to keep themselves fed, to get to work. That is all happening now. But in the future, as these people have to either leave their jobs, or for some people, if they've lost a job, or even if they're looking, they're like, I'm not going to work for less than it's going to cost me to work. So that then brings down the spending power of the population. So people stop doing as many luxuries, as many experiences, and there's not as many nights out in the pub, there's not as many nights out at the cinema, restaurants don't get as many bookings, and their staff are then reduced because it's not worth it. So there's a whole lot of that going on. So number 6 and 7 is your wage reductions and your job losses. Means that there's going to be less spending power. There's also going to be less options for spending on it. Now I know I've just used the example of experiences and things, but things like gift shops, speciality shops, they could really start to struggle. So if there's something that you're looking for, that you're thinking, I'll get that next year, it's not going to be any easier to get it next year. Get it now. there's going to be a whole lot of businesses closing because people just aren't going to have the money. So if you need something specialised, I would absolutely advise getting it now. 6, 7, 8, yeah, number 9, fuel prices. Fuel prices, and it's been all over the papers today, you know, the wholesale figures are coming down for fuel prices, but the retailers are not. And this is me trying desperately hard not to go off on one. My initial thought is to blame the retailers, to blame the companies who are giving their shareholders all the dividends and then say, no, we need help, we can't do this, we've got to put the prices up. You know, there has to be something somewhere that's a more equitable way of doing things, is the word I'm looking for, I think. So, but, you know, at the moment, unless fuel prices come down a huge lot, people are stopping travelling. Now, for me, my whole life, from when I passed my test, even before that, when Mum and Dad we used to always go into the town every weekend. Once I got old enough, I would jump on a bus, I'd go with my mates to the cinema. Once I passed my test, I would jump on the bus and we'd go through, we'd go shopping, we'd do whatever, go to the theatre, go to the cinema. We always travelled into the big town. We're not doing it now. We're just not. I mean, Patrick lives there. I'm working tomorrow, but I don't have the van. And he's like, do you want me to come and take you to work? Well, no. Why would we pay for that fuel just for him to come and take me the 3 miles to work? Be under no illusions that I'm walking. I do not walk. Look at me. Do I look like I walk? Behave. I do, however, have a motorbike out there, so the motorbike will be getting used. Either that or I'll be phoning Natalia if it's raining to say, please come and get me for work. But people are thinking like that now. They're like, no, if it's not an absolutely necessary journey, then I don't want to do it. And again, that ties into people are not going to be going and spending at businesses. So, you know, vicious circle type thing. And your other thing is companies are shutting down. And I don't just mean shops, I mean companies are shutting down. And people are not bidding for contracts. Now, I've said to you before about the school meals. People are not bidding for those contracts. Your emergency service, not your emergency services, because that's the police and ambulance. Your emergency, I'm trying not to use the actual name here because that could get me into trouble. People who come out and look after your gas boiler, or if you need an emergency plumber, or if you need an emergency electrician, etc. So these companies who do this, what they do is they basically are a huge call centre, and you pay that if, say, my power goes off and I go, oh no, I need to get this. So I phone them and go, I am paying you however much per month for emergency cover, come and fix whatever's happened. And they will phone a local contractor. Now, the rates that they pay this local contractor are nothing like what you get paid, obviously, because they have to pay for running their call centre and trying to find a local contractor. But the rates are set once a year, once every 2 years, and they're not that good. Local contractors can get much more for doing local work with people. But especially for young lads starting out, it can be quite good. If you've just moved to the area and you're a tradesman, it can be quite good just to get your name out there. Now, these rates were probably set 2 years ago. Who do you think wants to work for them now? So they're just not, you know, if this emergency company phones the plumber and says, can you send me a plumber? And you're like, no, I don't have one. No, I'm too busy. Because they'll maybe pay a £30 call out and then £17 an hour or something, whereas the guy's getting paid £30 an hour standard in his local area. Bear with me 1 second because my throat's going. So these companies are going to struggle to get tradesmen now. So again, if you've got something you want fixed, please get it fixed. And a word to the wise just at the tail end, which isn't really prepper related, but could be very, very important for prepper related later on, if things do get difficult. As I say, trying to find a tradesman now, very difficult. And you need to pay the going rate. So all these companies who hire in and do big things, they're finding it really difficult. Be nice to your tradesmen. And if you've got anything happening just now, or if you're having anything happening in the near future, and I don't mean just with tradesmen, I mean anybody that you're asking to do work for you, look at the bigger picture. If someone has, now what was it? I think I allegedly was saying about construction firms going down. And people are now looking to get their kitchens done, and the workmen are booking it in for 3 years. 3 years' time, and they want a deposit because they can't get the bits. So, unfortunately at the moment, there's a whole lot of people throughout the world whose houses are half built, or whose new kitchen isn't finished. And the word to the wise I would like to put out there right now is the reason that this is happening is because of the prices going up, because part of your kitchen could still be in a container ship out in the Atlantic or Pacific or wherever it is. You know, things are taking so long to get delivered now. Even if your kitchen fitter said, I'll have that for you on Friday, and he's phoned you this morning going, I don't have it. It is not his fault. He's actually booked himself out to come to you today because he was told by his supplier in the big town along there that it would be here on Friday. So he's like, right, that's fine, I'll get it out on Monday. Unfortunately, the supplier in the town didn't get it on Thursday afternoon, or didn't get it on Friday morning from the big supplier in the city, 100 miles away. And the big supplier in the city 100 miles away didn't get it from the docks. Stop shouting at the wee man. Stop shouting at your local guy. Because see, when everything gets really, really difficult, you need to be part of a community. And you want to try and keep everything together. And there's so many companies shutting down, there's so many contractors withdrawing from things, that the last thing you want to be in your local area is someone who complains when it's not the other person's fault. So, yeah, quite a personal bit there, probably not what you needed to hear at the tail end, but it's just something that I'm just looking at it, and especially, as I say, I allegedly with Dan, he's pretty cool on that. But he was saying about, and where he was talking about, yeah, we can get your kitchen done in 3 years. That's how bad it is now. So if you've got someone doing something for you just now, make sure you make them cups of tea and get them chocolate biscuits and stuff. Because you want to keep them happy just in case something happens to your roof or something happens to your plumbing. Because if you're yelling at them, believe you me, especially if you're in a small rural area, they all speak to each other, they all know each other. And you will really struggle to get any work done anytime soon. And if it is in a situation where, in 2023, when, you're struggling to get food, you're struggling to get parts, your gas meter breaks or something, or imagine your toilet breaks and you need to get a plumber, but you yelled at him because he couldn't get your pretty new vanity unit to finish off your bathroom this year. Try getting your toilet fixed next year. Anyway, I will shut up about that now. That's just a word to the wise. But yes, that is why, the first 5 things that I said about why the UK should prep haven't gone away. They haven't got any better. And there's even more reasons now for prepping. So get yourself some stashing. Get some cans, get some packets, make a list, find a place to put things, discuss with friends and family, start doing something, because it's not getting easier anytime soon. So I will go and finish my tea now and get this uploaded. I'll see you later.